Overall, like I've been saying, end of the year, we got Wall Street doing their thing right now, right? Rebalancing, profit taking, tax harvesting, right? End of the year, we only got 1 day left. The end of 2024, which I like to remind most of you guys because so many are turning bearish. All this like bearishness has only occurred the last 2 weeks. Okay. Leading up to the last 2 weeks, it's been absolutely fantastic. So there's no doubt about it. This year, 2024, has been absolutely fantastic. We got to keep that in perspective. So no matter what anyone says, okay, 118% gain, year-to-date gain, okay, despite the last 2 weeks being a little weak, no one should be complaining about that. 120% gain. And again, with Bitcoin being in the 90s, no one should be complaining about that, right? So again, to put things in perspective, we had a tremendous, tremendous year. Now, the last 2 weeks, some profit taking, some rebalancing, tax harvesting, whatever is happening, but we only got 1 day left of that. And during the Q&A part, I'll show you guys what has happened in prior cycles and previous years that are very, very, very encouraging. Very encouraging to look at. Okay, but today, definitely all the volatility, right? The up and downs from today, market maker liquidity grabs, definitely. That's why we're seeing this volatile movement both up and down. And also this morning, I showed you guys this, the liquidity heat map. Whatever was happening today definitely was meant to drive out liquidity both sides, the long and the short. So you could see the long side, obviously you had a lot of levels liquidated, but on the short side too, you know, just when you thought only the longs got liquidated, the short side, all these, I even mentioned it this morning, I said it would not surprise me to see Bitcoin go up to like the 94.6 range. I said that this morning too, and guess what? That's exactly what we saw to wipe out the shorts as well. And, you know, that's what the market makers do. They like to grab liquidity and drive out people, and they reset the market and then again move forward, right? But again, this is all temporary. This is short term. And when in doubt, zoom out. Like I said, this year has been absolutely fantastic. Okay. And it's not just for Bitcoin. I saw someone's comments like, no, it's only been Bitcoin that's been good. Really? XRP's year-to-date performance, 228%. That's better than Bitcoin. What about BNB? 125%. That's better than Bitcoin's year-to-date. Okay. Even Solana, 86%. Doge, 248%. Tron, which I don't even love. I hate Tron, 134%. Toncoin, 138% year-to-date. Shiba, 100%. Sui, 422%. Hedera, 218% year-to-date. Stellar, 147%. BitGet, who's buying BitGet token? 958% year-to-date performance. Pepe, 1,300% year-to-date performance. So no, it's not just Bitcoin. This is despite the fact that a lot of these have sold off 25% in the last 30 days, 20%, 15%, right? But again, that's just the last 2 weeks. If you've been holding for years, or if you've been accumulating since the beginning of the year, or even 6 months ago, you're well in the green, right? Because most of these alts have been climbing since the beginning of the year, and really since crypto winter from the last cycle, right? But again, what's going on right now, I've shown you guys, happens with every cycle. We have corrections, we have dips, we have volatile moments, right? And then we move past it and we make new highs. And then you forget about it. And then everyone's happy once again. It happens every single cycle. That's just how it works, right? But in the meantime, you got to view these moments as gifts, even though some people don't see it that way. But these are buying opportunities. And if you can't, at least don't panic. Know that there are a lot of people that are buying behind the scenes. You may not think that is happening, but it's definitely happening. You have a lot of big whales, market makers that are driving people out. You have exchanges, you have institutions, you have private companies, you have ETFs. They are all loading up behind the scenes while retail investors are kind of panicking and panic selling. That's what you don't want to do. Obviously, I mentioned Saylor already. Saylor will always buy no matter what. You can say that he always buys at tops because recently every single purchase he has announced has been at a higher price, way higher price, but it doesn't matter. He's made a lot of purchases in crypto winter and they have all paid out handsomely. It's just recently he's been leveraging like crazy, selling off a lot of MicroStrategy shares to buy more Bitcoin. We all love to hear big, massive Bitcoin purchases, but it's just a little worrisome that he's leveraging so much right now to buy so much Bitcoin, right? But nevertheless, he is buying a whole bunch. But it's not just him. Tether, right? I've seen some people say, well, there's a lot of Tether FUD right now. EU is about to kick them out. Tether they have endless amount of money right now. They use a lot of their profits to buy Bitcoin. Case in point, they just bought $705 million worth of Bitcoin added to the reserve. I don't know the exact percent. I think they said up to 25% of their profits, quarterly profit. I don't know if it's 25% or 15% or something. It's a decent amount, but not like 50% or something. But the very fact that they added 700 million in a single quarter, that shows you how much money they are making these days. Okay, so they are not going anywhere. But anyways, they're adding Bitcoin to the reserve. I mentioned countries and other companies, right? They're all adding up. Obviously, BlackRock, their ETF is considered the greatest launch in ETF history. 50 billion in assets in 11 months. That's roughly double of their gold ETF, which has been running for decades. Okay, think about that. This definitely had a lot to do with Bitcoin's appreciation this year. Like I mentioned before in my Sunday walk video and prior videos, Bitcoin is ahead compared to previous cycles, right? Some people may not realize that. Some people may be disappointed that the Santa rally, Christmas rally didn't come this year. I am too. I would have loved to see Bitcoin go much higher. But one of the reasons why it probably didn't was because of the fact that Bitcoin is already higher at this point in time, at this junction, versus prior cycles if you look at this point in time, right? And it's due to ETFs and it's due to the Saylor and other countries or other companies that's been loading up on Bitcoin behind the scenes, right? While, like I said, retail investors are panicking. That's exactly what's been happening.